Good evening, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, what's up? This is the 12th episode now of the Thunderbird podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the draft finally came. We're super excited to talk about it. And honestly, Don, unless you got something else to say, then let's just get right into it.
Let's go. Go for it.
All right. Breaking down our thoughts and opinions on the picks. With the first pick in the NFL draft being, well, the most obvious pick in the whole world, Trevor Lawrence to the Jags. Great pick. I mean, there's not much that needs to be said. He's one of the greatest quarterback prospects of all time. We'll see how he does with in the Jaguars organization.
Here's the thing. I honestly think he's one of those few quarterbacks that, like, he's so generational. It's like I think there's no chance that he's a bust. He's like he almost needs
agree.
he almost needs no time to develop. And like I know the Jaguars are kind of like a so-so organization right now, but Urban Meyer's the coach, and Urban Meyer was a god in college football. So I mean, it's a perfect combination. I think it's gonna work out, and they're not gonna make the playoffs maybe in the next 2 years, but it's you got as long as you got Trevor Lawrence. I mean, let's just be honest. This was like even the most obvious, it's also literally the best pick in the draft. Like the Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence. That's easily the best pick in the draft, no matter who else got picked. So I think it's a great pick. I'm excited to see what he does on the field because I can. I'm so used to him being in college. I'm so used to seeing him in college. He has such a dynamic to him. I can't wait to see him in the NFL.
Yeah. Sorry, I was messing with my lighting there. Yeah, I agree. This guy's not going to be a bust. It's just a matter of time until the Jaguars catch up to Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But the thing, and also if they can, because if they can't, then I imagine Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be traded eventually if the Jaguars can't catch up to his level of play.
Yeah.
But if they can, then the Jaguars can totally turn around their franchise and become the solid team
They
within
can
the
go back to
next.
that. Yeah, they can go back to that 2017 team that they were, but actually stay like that for like a couple
Yeah,
seasons.
exactly, because I mean their quarterback at that time was Blake Bortles and their coach was Doug Marrone. So
Yeah.
yeah, Urban Meyer. I mean, he hasn't coached yet in the NFL, but he was a very competent coach in college. So
Mm-hmm.
they're primed for success if the Jags can catch up. Great pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next pick, Zach Wilson to the Jets. What do you think?
Haven't been a big Zach Wilson fan throughout this whole ordeal. Like I'm really not. I mean, I guess it's a listen. If it were me, I would have picked Trey Lance or Justin Fields. I would have picked them. I just think they're. I don't know. Zach Wilson. It's not that he has that face, but he has that face. You know what I mean? And just like his whole character, like I'm sure he's a good guy,
Yeah,
but like I don't know, man.
he
I get
looks like
listen.
he's getting ready for the middle school dance. Is what you're saying?
He is, and he basically is. Like he looks like a teen. I look
No, he
older than
really did.
him.
Yeah,
I will obviously.
I look.
That's obvious, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that is.
I mean,
I
but
think
yeah,
even
man.
I look older, and I know that I look
Your
young.
brother, your 17-year-old brother looks older than Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, listen. I guess everyone loves him. All the experts love him. So I guess it's a good pick. Would I be surprised if he's a bust? Like if Trevor Lawrence was a bust, I'd be surprised. If this kid's a bust,
I'd
I
be
would not be
I'd be
surprised.
appalled if Trevor
Yes.
Lawrence was a bust.
Like if this
Zach
guy doesn't,
Wilson, for me, it's like a
yeah.
50-50.
Like
Like,
yeah, like if this guy doesn't last 2 years, I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah,
So I don't know. The game is changing, like in terms of what a successful quarterback. I know Tom Brady just won. He's like the least dynamic quarterback. He's just pinpoint accuracy and that's it.
yeah,
But
and leadership, yeah,
let's be honest, every team is trying to find the next Mahomes. Every team is trying to
yeah.
find the next
That's
Mahomes.
that's such a true point. Everybody's not looking for the next Brady; they're looking for the next Mahomes. That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's a guy who's won 7 rings and the other guy who's won. But I just say like the one guy who's won one has the best 3 year career ever as a quarterback.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't blame them, but there's a lot of mechanics I go into. Zach Wilson, though, I mean, people were comparing him to Rodgers, Mahomes, but he's so I don't know. I just feel like his
that's
stature's so
bold.
small. He looks he looks very small. Like, let's just be honest. Like he looks like he's one ankle injury away from like being done for his career. So I wish him the best. I like Robert Saleh as the coach. I do like him as
Yeah,
a
that's
coach.
gonna help.
Yeah, and they are, and they, I, it's just, I don't know. The Jets are such a odd team because they don't like, they like, here's the thing, they improved, but it doesn't feel like a complete 180 turnaround. Or like this team is
They're
destined to be good. Like, I don't like the Jaguars. I feel comfortable that, okay, in like 2 to 3 years, they might be a wild card team. The Jets, I don't feel like that. They just feel
yeah,
like so average right now.
yeah, yeah, and then it does help though that the rest of their picks are actually pretty good afterwards.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to once we get to there, because
Mhm.
we're going in order, but yeah, we'll see. Honestly, like I'm not gonna be surprised if the Jets are like, in the hunt in a few
Mhm.
years. I'm not gonna be surprised, but I'm also
Yeah.
not gonna be surprised if the Jets are still the Jets in a
Mhm.
few years.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be surprised.
And that's what I think is going to happen. I think they're just going to be the Jets. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to necessarily propel the New York Jets
Yeah,
to anything. You know what I mean? It's like a running, it's a carousel right now, which means it's just going around and around. They're not branching off into something different. This
yeah.
is Sam Darnold again with just a bald coach, a bald guy who can at least be competent. So we'll see, man. I'm not. If I was a Jets fan, I'd be excited for like a day, and then I would be going back to skepticism.
I wouldn't be pessimistic, but I for sure wouldn't be optimistic either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, next pick. So the Zach Wilson, we knew that was happening. The Trevor
Mhm.
Lawrence one, Zach Wilson two, we knew that was happening.
Yeah.
Pick number three. We didn't know what was happening because there was talks of the Niners taking Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance, and honestly, I think Trey Lance was the least talked about for the Niners, but that's who
Yeah.
their pick was. What do you think about it?
I like it. I'm not a Mac Jones guy. I don't know.
Yeah, let me ask.
Yeah. Go
Do
ahead.
you think you would have taken Justin Fields if you were the Niners? I understand not wanting to take Mac Jones. I get that, and I agree.
If you
But
wanted a guy who could play now, but I would think I would take Justin Fields just because him and Mac Jones are in similar positions where you can just put him in now because they have more recent success.
yeah,
But I'd rather take Justin Fields because he's more dynamic, obviously. But I get what the Niners are doing. They're gonna keep Garoppolo. They're gonna sit. They're gonna do. Listen, they're basically pulling a Mahomes, like what Alec. Like that is the new formula now for young quarterbacks. You sit
I
them.
mean it should be the
You
formula.
draft them. You get a guy who's been in the league like 6 or 7 years. You have him start for the year, and then you either have him start the whole year or you have him start to like week 9 or 10, and then you bring the rookie on. Ever since the Chiefs did that, because everyone's like, "Oh, look at what the Chiefs did with Mahomes. Maybe he can turn out like that." I know that's what teams like the Chargers were going to do that with the Herbert. Tyrod Taylor was going to start the entire 2020 season, and then Tyrod got stabbed with a shot. I felt so bad. I feel so bad.
No,
He,
I do
he
feel
didn't
bad.
deserve it.
It's just such a bizarre
Like it's like how does that
scenario.
happen? Like of course that happened to
Like
a
that
Charger.
almost
That's karma, man.
it almost seems like a set. Like it just sounds so bizarre. It almost sounds like a setup. Like the guy was probably doing that was probably Justin Herbert fan and was like, let me puncture this dude's fucking lung. I want
Yeah.
Justin Herbert to play. God,
So
it's
that
so bad.
doctor should be he should be given 1,000 gifts by Charger fans. I
Oh,
mean,
for
let's just
sure.
be honest. Like that was he sacrificed a lot. He's probably never going to be a doctor again.
But
Yeah,
but
but
the Chargers got what they needed.
they got what they needed. Where I'm excited, but just not to go totally
Yeah,
off
yeah,
track.
yeah,
But the
yeah.
formula,
The
to
formula.
develop young quarterbacks is to have them sit for 10 weeks to a year. That's the formula now. That's what the Niners are going to do with Trey Lance. And I think here's the thing: it worked with Mahomes, and to an extent, it worked with Lamar Jackson. Because remember, Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson he
he
did play
wasn't
his rookie
starting
year.
initially. Yeah.
Yeah, he did play his rookie, so it worked with him. But then you get other teams like Josh Allen started his first game as soon as he got drafted. Sam Darnold. So
Josh Allen, his first 2 years were good.
yeah, they were. The first year was the second year was developing. Third year, obviously, we just saw he
Yeah,
was
we
at
just
second in
saw
the
he.
MVP.
Yeah, we just saw him
So
go off. Yeah.
you can, it's like, so there's literally two ways you can do it. You just start him week 1, or you start him week 10, or you just don't even start him at all. And so I guess the Niners, I'm guessing, since they had success with Garoppolo, I would imagine they're going to probably just have him sit the entire year. Because think about it. They drafted Mahomes, but Alex Smith took him to the playoffs like four, like in
Yeah, like
for 4 years straight. So
yeah,
of course, they weren't just going to sit Alex Smith. They're going to have him sit beyond a year, develop. They still made the playoffs that year, even with Mahomes.
yeah,
So yeah, man, I think it's a good pick overall. They're in it for the long run. Obviously that's what this pick is telling me. I do like Trey Lance. I think he could be the next Cam Newton. I really do. Size, stature, he runs a lot. He has a cannon of an arm. It's just accuracy and other, football intangibles that they want to develop. And Garoppolo's a pretty good mentor. So, and because he learned from Tom Brady, who else
yeah,
better if you can't get Tom Brady?
yeah. No, I like the move the Niners made. I think in a year or two we could see Trey Lance really just propel the Niners. I
Mhm.
mean, as if they're not already going to be great. And
Yeah.
honestly, this is good because usually they have the quarterback like, okay, you're starting because they don't have jack shit anybody else, But they have Garoppolo, and a lot of people are like, nah, Garoppolo. Like, don't forget when Garoppolo is healthy, that dude's
They
winning
win.
percentage is really high.
Yeah, they win.
They win. I mean, look, does he take over the game? Does he do Mahomes stuff? Does he do Lamar stuff? No, but he
No.
wins the games. That's the point, you know. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you win games, you win games. I mean, the
Mhm.
dude took him to the Super Bowl. You know, whether it was Raheem Mostert running through the playoffs for them doesn't matter. You know, Jimmy G and the Niners went to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So I think this is good for Trey Lance to sit for about a year at least, and then develop under Garoppolo. I like it. I like the pick.
Mhm.
And then next is Kyle Pitts with the Falcons. So I talked to a good friend of mine who's a Falcons fan, the brother of a certain friend, Teo. So he's a
Oh,
Falcons
Teo.
fan.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Teo.
yeah. Shout out to Teo, man. And he's a Falcons fan, and I was like, oh, like, how do you feel? And he's like, oh, like they should have, he's like, fuck Matt Ryan. I was like, me, I get it, but like,
Yeah.
I, I don't know, I disagree. I think adding Kyle Pitts is going to accelerate this offense even further. And you saying that they should have gone with the defensive guy, um, or a new QB. I've been hearing that debate, more so defensive guy over Kyle Pitts if they didn't draft Kyle Pitts. But I liked the Kyle Pitts pick, and even though they do need defense more than they needed Kyle Pitts now, I think Kyle Pitts in the long run is going to be the better pick. Obviously, right now, they need defense more. They do, but in the long run, you're going to still have Julio Jones for at least a couple of years, probably. You got Calvin Ridley still. Like, you still have Matt Ryan, who is still producing numbers. Like, whether he's, you know, propelling the Falcons or not, the dude is at least pumping numbers. It's just the defense is so bad that they also allow other offenses to pump out numbers on them. That doesn't really help Matt Ryan in the offense. You still have Matt Ryan, got Julio and Calvin Ridley. Now you have one of the best generational tight end prospects ever. This guy is a Shannon Sharp. He's a Tony Gonzalez. He's a Travis Kelce, a Rob Gronkowski. This is Kyle Pitts. I think in the long run, it ensures that your offense still is just, it's going to be elite, hopefully, for them.
Yeah. I mean,
And like
go
you
ahead. Go
can
ahead.
you can solve defense, and then if you decide to ditch Matt Ryan, you can trade Matt Ryan for defense. Because Matt Ryan's going to go for a bunch. Like, yeah, unless Matt Ryan experiences some traumatic injury, Matt Ryan's going to go for a lot to another team. Let's be honest. That's the truth. So that you can still solve the defense.
I think it's one of those. Yeah, it's a good pick. It's like obviously it's a good pick. It's Kyle Pitts. So it's more of like a ditto everything you say. It's just the only thing I'm just questioning. Like, here's the thing, man. I mean, Matt Ryan you know how I feel about him. I think he's a capable quarterback. I think he's good, not dynamic. He's not. I wouldn't
Oh
necessarily.
yeah, he's not
I
dynamic.
think
That's
I
true.
think I would. I think over the past couple years, I think I've taken him out of the elite category because I definitely think in the mid 2000, from like when he was like 2010 to 2017, I'd put him in the elite class. Past 3 years, I think he's been underwhelming. He's just more so like he's just there. I feel like, and I feel like Atlanta has always just been a team that's just there.
I mean, it's just their
I don't know.
defense has sucked since that Super Bowl loss.
Since the Super Bowl, yeah, I mean it's crushed them, and I just, it's just, it's yeah, it's obviously it's listen. Any team that would have, if the Jaguars got Kyle Pitts, it would have been still a good pick, even if they didn't get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, it's just, I don't know. I still would have traded down because the Falcons' offense is already great, and I think you could have gotten another tight end, maybe in the second or third round, So I'm kind of so I'm guessing Teo wanted a new because since he said fuck Matt Ryan, I'm guessing he wanted a new quarterback. And
Yeah.
honestly, I would have had if the Falcons took Justin Fields, I think I would have been a great pick. But they took Kyle Pitts, so I understand it. But I don't know. It's just I don't like Matt Ryan. I'm being honest. I don't like Matt Ryan. If I can put that on the record, I don't like Matt Ryan. I don't think he's exciting to watch. He's just like he's like Tony Romo. He's like a more successful Tony Romo, I guess, if you can say.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
just like he's there, but even then, Tony Romo was sometimes fun to watch because like so
Matt Ryan
he's
was
good
sometimes fun to watch.
he was good at. Nah, I never really
Okay,
found him that fun to watch.
no, okay,
He's the
never mind.
most
I see what
because
you're
he's a
saying.
pocket passer, so he's the
Yeah.
most basic quarterback that you could
No,
find.
I know you're talking about though with
Yeah.
the interesting Romo plays.
So I'm just Matt Ryan's not really. He's good. Like that's all I can say. And Kyle Pitts is gonna be successful. When Matt Ryan's there, and he's gonna be successful if he's not there because he's gonna be a number one target no matter what. So it's a good pick by Atlanta, but this is not gonna. This
It's not
doesn't
gonna
really.
solve
This
their
doesn't
issues.
solve like even 10% of they don't have receiving issues. They have an entire side of the ball issue with the defense. So it's a good pick. It's great. Kyle Pitts is going to be great for his first 4 years when he's just stat padding and getting 75 catches and 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns a year for the next 4 years. So that's going to be great. But guess what? He's never going to see the playoffs. So yeah, man, it's a good pick. I don't feel bad for him. He's gonna be great. He's gonna fit right into Atlanta. But this makes Atlanta's offense better, but doesn't make them as a team any better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Well, with the next pick, we got Jamar Chase, the Bengals. Go ahead.
It's polarizing. I know people wanted. Do you protect Herbert? I'm not Herbert. Do you protect Burrow or do you give him protection because his knee blew up? I'm actually glad they took Jamar Chase.
Me too.
There's plenty of great offensive tackles, but there's only one Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
So
there's only 3 receivers in this draft that are like truly like, okay, these guys are gonna succeed.
yeah.
Right? Jamar Chase is one of them. And a lot of people consider Jamar Chase the top prospect. Not only that, but he's being paired back up with Burrow from LSU.
Chemistry.
So there's already an established chemistry. Like, look, I get it. Like, Burrow does have to be protected. But there was plenty of offensive linemen in this draft they could have gotten later,
Yeah.
So I like this pick. You snag a receiver that's, that doesn't come around, There's only 3 good, really, really good receivers in this draft, and they got arguably the best one. So, and there's plenty of good offensive linemen out there. So I like the pick.
Yeah, I do. And plus, listen, Burrow had everyone's saying, "Oh, T. Higgins, T. Higgins." He's unproven right now.
T. Higgins was
He's
good,
unproven.
but Jamar Chase is a better prospect than T.
He's
Higgins.
a better prospect. He
And
looks
look,
NFL ready already.
yeah, and the Bengals lost both John Ross and AJ Green.
Yeah, you gotta give your young quarterback some weapons. You can get
Yeah,
protection later, but you gotta give him a true offense. Like you can't have him throwing to just T. Higgins, unproven
yeah.
receiver, and then a bunch of nobodies. You got to give him something of substance. So I think that's why I think it was a great pick. And I'm glad. I'm actually glad they didn't go Panay Sewell. I'm glad they went Jamar Chase.
I mean, it would have been a good pick if they had picked Panay Sewell, but
Yeah.
look, I like there's gonna be other good
Like
offensive
Burrow's
linemen.
Burrow's a gunslinger, man. You got to
Yeah,
give him a guy to throw to like 18 times a game.
yeah, I agree. And then the next pick, I felt this was an obvious choice for the Dolphins, and it's a good
Hmm.
choice. Jalen
Yeah,
Waddle.
yeah. You go ahead.
Yeah.
You can go first on this one.
Another situation where it's chemistry reunited.
Hmm.
Jalen Waddle played with Tua. Jalen Waddle, also one of the fastest guys in the draft, and he was one of the top three receiver prospects. And what did the Dolphins need? What was one of their top priorities? Weapons for Tua, and they got
Hmm.
it. I love the pick. It's a great pick for the Dolphins.
It's a good pick. It's again, if not, it's different from the Kyle Pitts situation where I think he's gonna be successful, but I'm not a. I listen. I know I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of most quarterbacks, and Tua's included in that list of quarterbacks I'm not a big fan of because I didn't really see
Yeah, for
anything.
sure.
The only thing that I will give Tua is that he definitely has one of the quickest releases I've ever seen. Like he has an insane like that ball just sprints out of his hand. But yeah, it's accurate sometimes, and I don't know. I don't. Jalen Waddle's great. It's good for the Dolphins offense because you got to give what Devontae Parker, Mike Gilsecki, and then that's really it. Like I think I'm missing a guy, but
Oh,
uh,
they just got Will Fuller.
yeah, Will Fuller too, who I think is kind of past this point, but
He's still
uh,
good enough, but yeah,
he's
I
good. Yeah,
agree.
he's capable. Yeah. But so I it's going to be important. I know they're more right now. They're more of a defensive juggernaut rather than an offensive team that's going to put up 35 points a game. But
Yeah,
it's a good pick because they have They have thousands of picks over the next like 2 years.
yeah,
So you might as well just get the best offensive player available, and that's what they did. I applaud them.
yeah. Great pick for the Dolphins. And then Panay Sewell to the to sorry, I said Dolphins because I was thinking Detroit, the D. The Lions. Well, there's not much to say. The Lions needed literally everything.
Yeah,
So
every single position can be replaced.
yeah, yeah. So good pick. You got protection for Jared Goff. That's the end of the
Yeah,
story for me.
yeah, honestly, because I know we're not gonna go into every single pick, but I looked at the Lions like draft, like the actual drafting. They actually had a great draft. Like they got like a bunch of monsters on the offensive line and the defense.
Well, that's
So,
good.
that's the thing. The Lions, they got their generational offensive. They like people are saying, oh, he's gonna be Joe Thomas or Jake Long. And
Yeah,
here's the thing, it very well could be. But the way I think the new Lions GM had a great first draft. So I think I'm listen. It's Panay Sewell. He was the best offensive tackle. Again, one of the best offensive tackle prospects that you've seen. So I think it was great. I think it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And Panay Sewell, he's generational talent. I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see just what he does. Because I mean, he's a violent dude coming off that ball. So
yeah,
the Lions, listen, I know we clown on them. Everyone clowns on them because let's be honest, they're a loser franchise.
yeah.
They're a
They
loser. And even though even though they're basically have the same kind of history as Cleveland, at least Cleveland seems like a winning. They seem like winners now.
yeah.
Detroit have been losers for
Yeah,
their
the,
entire.
the the Browns are getting out of the losing hump. They are.
And the
They're exiting
Lions
loser
and the
town.
Lions have stayed there for their entire existence.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, if this is another Barry Sanders situation where he's the best player on his team for 10 years, then so be it. At least you got him, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna need like 2 or 3 more good drafts and good free agency moves to even be in contention. The lucky part is that they're in the NFC, which is a
Yeah.
weak, which is the weakest
Conference.
conference, especially right now. It
Yeah.
seems so dire. Every division seems winnable except maybe I guess the NFC South because Brady right now. But other
Yeah.
than that, every division seems like it could be for the taking. And people are saying, "Oh, what about Rodgers? Rodgers." Trust me, we're gonna get to that later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
All right. The next pick in the draft. So another surprising move, but I think it's a good one. The
Mhm.
Panthers drafting J.C. Horn.
You go take this one
Yeah.
because I
So I'll
don't really have
start.
much.
So I so at first I was thinking take Rashawn Slater, right? Because Sam Darnold. You need for that. That was one of the biggest, probably the biggest need is O-line. Protect Sam Darnold, right? But also another one of their biggest needs was DB. And now you got that. You got probably arguably the best DB prospect in the draft with J.C. Horn to also line up on the other opposite side of AJ Boye, who's not obviously not in his prime, but he's still AJ Boye, you know. So I like this pick. I like this pick a lot, and especially for me as an Eagles fan, which I'll get to in a second. Why I like this pick, but it's good. This is bolstering a young Panthers defense that I think could potentially this year start being really good, but definitely within a year or two is gonna be great.
Mhm.
So I like the pick, a true lockdown corner with J.C. Horn.
Yeah, I mean, again, just a ditto on everything you say. I mean, the Panthers defense is definitely showed a lot of promise. Jeremy Chin, I know you love him. I
Yep.
I I started to like him as the
Brian,
season went
yeah,
on.
Brian Burns too.
Yeah, so they had a lot of young, good, promising defensive talent on that Panthers, and J.C. Horn, who, in my opinion, was the best cornerback prospect. They got him. They took him. Everyone said they took him a lot earlier than what they thought. But listen, if he's there, and if you had listen, I know they took Rashawn Slater. Obviously, I'm happy they didn't, but yeah, they got their guy. They got their Darrell Revis, like you could say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the next pick is the other DB in this draft, though, also shows very high promise. Patrick Surtain to the Broncos. How do you think about? What do you think about the Broncos taking a DB?
I think it was. I don't think they needed to do that. They had Kyle Fuller. They had other guys that I know are good. Names I'm forgetting. They already
Justin
had a
Simmons, it's a
Justin
safety.
Simmons. Yeah, I mean they already had a good secondary. I don't know why they went. I guess they just wanted because listen. I guess they're aware they're gonna get Herbert. They're gonna get Mahomes. Derek Carr has always been slinging it. So I
Yeah,
think. I mean, I guess they just want to double down on it for the me in the meantime
yeah,
before they go out and get their guy. Listen, let's be honest. Even if Denver got, I'm thinking about it now. Even if Denver got Justin Fields or Mac Jones, even if they got them, I think they're still aware that they wouldn't win the division, and
yeah,
that like at least not anytime soon, and that they wouldn't be able to necessarily really stop Herbert, Mahomes, Carr. So I think they just wanted to double down on it first. They wanted to get like let's terrorize these quarterbacks first, and maybe in a year or so maybe we'll have our guy. Obviously, with the
mhm,
Rodgers news coming out, that may change. But for the meantime, it seems like it's Drew Lock again, which I don't know. I'm not a Drew again another quarterback who I don't like, Drew Lock.
yeah,
But so I think it was just a doubling down on the secondary, which I guess it's a good move. I guess it makes sense. I guess.
yeah. I agree. And then I said I would get to in a second why I like J.C. Horn picks. Because the Cowboys were going who were going to be the 10th pick. They the Cowboys, their big need was DB.
Hmm.
And the Panthers and the Broncos robbed the Cowboys of that.
They really
And
did. Like they didn't. They were not speculated to get corners at all.
they, I mean, for Panthers, kinda. Broncos, I was surprised
Hmm.
because Panthers, I was like, they're going Rashawn Slater or they're going like Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn, and
Yeah.
well, yeah, I was right. But I was really thinking the Panthers were going to go Rashawn Slater, but whatever. But the Broncos, yeah, it was surprised when they picked Patrick Surtain.
Hmm.
But you know what? As an Eagles fan, I love it. The Cowboys needed a corner. They didn't get it. They didn't.
Hmm.
They didn't get that top prospect that they needed. And with that, they traded with us. And the next pick is my Eagles, Devontae Smith, baby. Oh, how you finally fucking did it. You finally drafted a good receiver. At last. At last. This is a great move. Not also like this, it's a win-win for the Eagles and Cowboys. It's crazy because the interdivisional trades typically they're pretty rare.
They
So
never happen. Yeah, they never.
yeah,
Happen.
yeah, they never happen. So, but it's a win-win for both teams because the Eagles because the Giants were at 11. They were like it's confirmed. The Giants did say they were gonna take Devontae Smith, and to keep that stud of a receiver not only out of the hands of the Giants, but into our hands, the Eagles, and finally get a top-notch young upcoming receiver, the Heisman winner. This is great stuff, and also another previous quarter a previous quarterback receiver college connection. Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith played with each other back in Alabama. This is great stuff, man. I'm excited for an Eagles fan. This is a great pick. Do I think this propels us to the playoffs automatically? No. There's other issues that need to be addressed. But this is a great step in the right direction. I love the pick.
I think you guys got your Tyreek Hill. I mean, maybe. So,
Yeah.
they're very similar. They're both speedy, dynamic.
But also, Devontae
Yeah,
Smith, like, besides being speedy, the dude's got length of arms. He
yeah,
doesn't
he
even
does.
he can mosh people without jumping.
He can. Like I saw that. Like even him, like with like just like no gloves or anything, his arms reach down to his ankles. It was
Yeah.
insane. He's like a squid. So I can't wait to see. I'm excited. Listen, I listen. Avery's an Eagles fan, so obviously I clown him on pass. I'm clowning him on Howie Roseman because I think he's a disgusting general manager. But I gotta give him. I told Avery. I think I said I can't. I do hope Jalen Hurts, and Devontae Smith. I really do hope that, and because I know they're not going to make the playoffs, I know that,
No,
but I
it's not
really do
happening.
hope that they at least tear up the NFC East.
Yeah.
I want them to be the team that costs the Cowboys, the Giants, Redskins playoff spots. I want them to be like that surprise, like, oh, it's week 16 and the Cowboys win, they're going to win the division. But the Eagles come in and they just cost them that whole thing. I think the Eagles are going to be that team. And the Devontae Smith is great for the offense because now you got what? You got Hurts, who the jury's still out. I know you said he's not in my dislike.
I'm undecided on Hurts.
He's
I
like, yeah, exactly. I'm
I
undecided.
think there's potential with Hurts, but like I'm optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I think there can
Mhm.
be good. I really think so. But also I'm not giving my hopes up either.
Yeah, he's not on my dislike. He's not on my like. So the jury's still out on him. But then you got Boston Scott, Miles Sanders.
Al Sanders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Devontae Smith. Is there another guy? Is Zach Ertz still on that team? Or
I don't
they
know. I don't know, man. I don't know what that situation is. Because
well, they
we there
should
was
be.
there was talks of I don't know why the Eagles aren't giving that man a contract extension. He's literally a top 3 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But even if Zach Ertz is gone, Dallas Goedert is still at least a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, so I think either way, the Eagles' offense will at least show promise. Defense is still going to need some developing. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
listen, I think your best friend Howie Roseman, I think he did a good job with the first round. Finally, he didn't choose some receiver from Boston College his name he was gonna choose a receiver at Boston College, Nicholas Price Vincent. He was gonna choose a guy called that. And that would have listen. You would have just you should have just killed yourself after that. But they got Devontae Smith.
I would have flown to Philly and killed myself.
Exactly. You might as well just do it in Lincoln Financial, just right there and then at the 50-yard line.
Exactly. Exactly. Jeez. By the way, that's not a threat, Howie Roseman. If you ever see this, it's a joke. I don't like you, but
Yeah.
that's a joke.
Yeah, you're a great GM, Howie.
All right. Well, the Eagles drafting Devontae Smith totally took. You know,
Yeah.
we stripped that away from the Giants. So what do the
This is where
Giants do? They
and yeah,
trade
no,
back.
this is where yeah.
Yeah. They
But
trade
do you mind
back.
do you mind if I announce this one?
Yeah, I'll just say they trade back with the Bears, and the
Exactly. And
Bears.
the Bears moved up to 11. And guys, you know me, I'm a Bears fan. I've been a Bears fan my entire 3 months in 2021. So but I really have grown. This team has really grown on me. Like I can really say I'm a for real Bears fan. And guys, somehow, some way, and Ryan Pace has been a terrible GM when it comes to quarterbacks. This guy chose Mike Glennon. This guy chose Mitch Trubisky. This guy just signed Andy Dalton. But finally, he took his head out of his ass and he selected Justin Fields at 11. First off, the fact that Justin Fields slid to 11 is a crime within itself.
Yeah.
The Bears took advantage of that. This was this was a power move. All right. This took balls. And the Bears we got just a competent quarterback. Like people were remember some scouts had this guy as their number 2, and maybe a handful of them had him as even their number 1. This guy is dynamic. This guy is intelligent. This guy is fast. He has a cannon of an arm, accurate as hell. The Bears have never had a quarterback like this. We've always had pocket guys. Mitchell Trubisky was the most underwhelming dynamic. He wasn't even dynamic. He was like an underwhelming version of like I don't know, Dante Culpepper. I know that's very
Wow.
it's an
Great
odd
reference.
it's an odd reference, but if you look at it, it's just he goes out of the pockets, but he can't throw to anything. Justin Fields is a more than one read guy, and I can't wait. And Allen Robinson finally has a quarterback. This guy has been playing with
Yeah.
he's playing with Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles. But I didn't even mention Nick Foles in those quarterbacks. Nick Foles, you
Yeah.
never supposed to sign Nick Foles and make him a starter. You're supposed to have him off the bench and then he'll win. You don't start him and expect
Well, I mean,
greatness.
they didn't. He did come off the bench. But here's the
But then he
thing.
started and they
Here's the
lost
thing.
6 straight.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You won't. Nick Foles is supposed to come in for an injured guy. Both times he like popped off, it was for an injured quarterback.
Exactly.
Not a bad, whatever quarterback, for an injured quarterback. Mike Vick went down. Nick Foles throws 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in whatever time span that was.
It was like in 13 games. It was insane.
No, it wasn't 13. It wasn't 13.
That was too much or too little?
Too much. I want to say it was
So it was even less?
I want to say it was like
God damn.
I want to say it was like 9 games.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Yeah. Yeah.
So
no.
yeah,
well,
man,
because
so
remember
happy.
he had that 7 touchdown game against the Raiders?
Yeah. What the hell was that? Like, who would have thought, bro? And then who would have thought 5 years later he would be winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's insane. But anyways,
so
the Bears are the only team where we have like when our franchise's best quarterback is Jay Cutler, you have a terrible quarterback history. Now here's the thing.
Yeah, Justin Fields has already become the second best quarterback in Bears history. The only reason he's not one is because he hasn't played yet.
Yes. So here's the thing. This kid has a chance to kill two myths with one go around. He has a chance to kill the Bears quarterback curse and the Ohio State to quarterback to NFL
Yeah,
curse.
that's
Because like
so
Ohio
true.
State, listen, these top colleges, Ohio State, Alabama, these guys never produce good
Marcus
quarterbacks.
Russell.
Exactly. So he has it, and I listen. If there's one guy who can break it, it just listen, Avery. It just seems so perfect for this guy to break the mold. And he hasn't when he got drafted, he looked angry. I don't know if he was angry because he was playing in Chicago or if he was angry because he slid, but this guy looked pissed the hell off, and that's what I want. I want Mitchell Trubisky hanging there with his wife, smiling with his disgusting neck beard. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Nick Foles' buck teeth looking like Napoleon Dynamite. I want to, or Mike Glennon with his giraffe neck. I want to see Justin Fields, the man, the myth, the legend. I cannot wait to see this guy play. Dude, I am so hyped for this. I can't wait.
Holy crap.
I cannot wait to see this, man. I am so happy. I know all of my fellow Chicago Bears fans are hyped about this. Bear down. And I was gonna say a curse word, but I got to keep this thing PG, even though I've already cursed 1,000 times. But it doesn't matter. Bear down. We're gonna go to the playoffs in 2023. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
All right. Well, then let's move on to the Cowboys picking Micah Parsons with their 12th pick. That's the Cowboys. We hate them. So I was saying both the Cowboys and the Eagles won because even though the Cowboys didn't get to select their DB, the Cowboys could have not traded with us and then still selected him at 10, but they got a third-round pick out of us and still got the linebacker that they wanted after that. So I think it was a great selection. They got the best linebacker prospect in the draft. I've seen some people commenting that that wasn't a good pick. I don't see it. The only way I could possibly see that was a bad pick is if he has off the field issues that I'm unaware of.
That's why.
Okay.
Dude, he's low key a weird guy.
Really?
It's weird stuff that I'm not comfortable saying on the air, but this guy's a weird guy. So I can.
So it sounds like he's fit for the Cowboys then.
Exactly. They love criminals. I mean, this guy has been. He has had arrest. He's not even been arrested. He's had he's been involved with bad stuff. Let's just say that, right?
All
for lack of a better term. And the Cowboys love him. They love Greg Hardy. They love all these guys. So, listen, it's a good pick because I guess he was the best non-cornerback defensive player.
He's the best. He's the best linebacker in the draft, no doubt.
Yeah,
and Sean Lee retired, and they got the replacement.
Yeah, but Jalen Smith was already there to be the next guy up.
Yeah, and Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah, so then it's dude, they needed cornerback so bad. If I were them, I would have traded a haul and just gotten not traded a haul, just trade away that pick and just gotten a second rounder and a third rounder, and at least second rounder you could have gotten Asante Samuel Jr. like my Chargers did. But I don't know, man. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't like them. I don't want to see them. I'm tired of Joe Buck calling every single game of them.
Dude, for real. Holy crap.
And we got the Cowboys. Passes caught by Lamb. So I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I'm tired of the Cowboys.
That impression was impeccable.
Passes caught on the sideline. Prescott. That's how he says it. Dak Prescott. And yeah, Joe. I mean,
sideline touchdown.
That's his best call ever.
That is his best call ever.
Please tell me you know because you're an Eagles fan. Please tell me you know the call the famous Mitchell one. Mitchell.
I don't remember.
Mitchell. Oh my God, it's some player named Mitchell on the Eagles, and he was 100 something yard kick return, and the only thing Joe Buck said during the entire kick return was Mitchell. 40-yard line. Mitchell. 20-yard line. Mitchell. And then he just said touchdown. And then everyone was flaming. That is one of the worst calls. He was just saying his last name 3 times. It was
so I put in YouTube on my phone, Joe Buck saying Mitchell. I even have it on loop for an hour.
Exactly, bro. It's famous. I can't believe you don't know it. Just play it real quick.
Yeah. Hold on. There's freaking YouTube ads. God, it's terrible.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, dude, for real. Holy crap.
Put it to the max. So that's
All right. Here we go.
Show the screen. Or just try to, just there you go. Bucks kicking off. There you go. Like
Mitchell.
Wow.
he just says Mitchell. Mitchell. It's like that is a terror. So anyway, how do we get here? The Cowboy. Yeah. So the Cowboys. So the Cowboys select Michael Parsons. Good pick. Yeah, man. It's a good pick for them. Listen, I think that's the key word. It's a good pick for them.
Yeah.
The Cowboys. They select guys like this. Avery, I advise you to read about what this guy did in the locker rooms. He's a weird guy, and even with Zeke, he has a thing with Zeke Elliott. So
wow. Well, yeah, we'll talk about it off air. All right. Well, let's move on to the next pick. Your Chargers, baby, dude. I don't know how he fell into your lap. Rashawn Slater, here you go. What did the Chargers need? The Chargers needed O-line, right? And it just so happened they got the second best. Penei Sewell's the best guard prospect. Rashawn Slater's the best tackle prospect. Boom. He fell into your lap. I didn't think he was going to be there at 13. Didn't think it was going to happen, but he was. And what did you guys need? O-line to protect Justin Herbert. Look at this fool. Look at this fool of Don dancing. Look at him go. Look at him go.
I love the pick. I mean, listen, he was literally the best, not even offensive player or offensive tackle player. He was the best player available at that spot. So it was a no-brainer. Tom Telesco was an amazing drafter. Let's just get one thing straight here. He always hits on drafts. It's always just been Phillip Rivers throwing an interception that has always cost us. So this pick is great. I'm a Herbert fan. I don't want to see Herbert go down the way Burrow did. I don't want Herbert to have an Alex Smith leg injury. I want this guy to be slinging every single second of a football game. And listen, our offensive line, the Chiefs kind of had a more dominant because we kind of already touched on Orlando Brown and Kyle Long and Joe Thuney. That is a insane upgrade, even though they were the Chiefs anyway. That's like the Dodgers getting all the best baseball players like they did. But the Chargers revamping the offensive line to protect Justin Herbert. This was an amazing pick. I can't believe we got Rashawn Slater. Between the Bears getting Fields and the Chargers getting Slater. Listen, both of these teams, they're both in in analysts top two winners of the draft, because these are amazing picks. How the hell did we get Rashawn Slater at 13? He slid. So I'm so happy about this. I'm hyped, dude. I've never been more hyped for a Chargers season. Maybe since until when Mike McCoy got hired. When he got hired, I was excited for his first year because that was the last time I got that involved in football. So I was very hyped for that. But I'm super hyped for this season, man. Herbert might be an MVP candidate. We're gonna have an insane offensive line. It's gonna be disgusting in Los Angeles. So I can't wait to see it.
Well, yeah, you said enough, man. Ditto. All right. The next pick is the Jets again. This was supposed to be the Vikings pick. They traded back. And we're talking earlier, I said after Zach Wilson, the Jets had a good draft. This is it right here. Elijah Vera Tucker to the Jets. What did the Jets not have for Sam Darnold other than receivers? Well, I mean, they didn't have anything. But, they didn't have a line either to protect Sam Darnold. It was one of the biggest reasons why Sam Darnold did not succeed in New York. And what do? You go out and you draft what do you think is your franchise quarterback? Cool, great. Then you draft one of the top 3 offensive linemen in the first round on top of that. Great pick. You draft the quarterback and you draft the protection as well. I love the pick for the Jets. Jets had a solid draft. And there's more to come with the Jets too. honestly. So, I mean, the Jets. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna. We said it earlier. I'm not gonna be surprised if they're still the Jets. But look, there is the window is starting to open a tiny bit with good drafting. Good drafting is what starts teams on the path to success. That's the Browns made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns made it happen. Myles Garrett, Jarvis. Wait, no, they didn't trade for. They traded for Jarvis Landry. Sorry, but nonetheless, good free agency.
Baker,
Right?
Chubb.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb. Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Honestly, I thought this was actually going to be the Chargers pick because I thought Rashawn Slater was going to go earlier.
Yeah.
So I think
Which
this was
would
a
still
steal.
would have been a great pick.
Oh yeah, it would have been great. So for the Jets, it's a steal. I think it's an absolute. And this guy can play tackle and guard, and he's more of a guard. So you get listen.
But having that dynamic capability,
insane. I'm
wonderful,
actually
wonderful.
super surprised they got him. I'm actually very surprised they were able to get Elijah Vera Tucker. I think this is a under the radar steal. It's because obviously I think it's because Sewell to the Lions and Slater to the Chargers. Those are kind of more bigger surprises that I think this one's kind of going under the radar because, like you said, he is a top 3 offensive lineman behind those other 2. So this is a great pick. And listen, even if Zach Wilson doesn't pan out, at least Vera Tucker will because he has the makings.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Great picks for the Jets. Now, to the last quarterback pick in the first round, Mac Jones to the Patriots. The infamous stride out to the podium to kiss Roger Goodell. Yeah, exactly. A little just like that. So that infamous stride. He almost pulled the Bill Belichick stride, actually.
He did.
Yeah.
He didn't high five anybody either.
No, he didn't.
Just like Bill Belichick snubbed those kids at Detroit. Mike Jones snubbed everybody in Cleveland.
Dude, he did. Oh man,
that was cold, low key. Like, let's be honest. Mac Jones was a savage when he got drafted. He said, "Oh, in Cleveland, he said, I'm actually happy I went here. This is the best organization ever." Like he said that in Cleveland. This guy's a savage. Listen, I'm being honest. This was the only place where I think I would have liked Mac Jones to go. Other than that, because here's the thing, I actually kind of want him to succeed here. If he went to any other team, I would have wanted him to fail. But
it's the best system for Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Limited. Everyone says how much of a smarty he is, so this is about as complex as an offense can get.
This is a system that has made the pocket passer successful. Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Elite. Yeah. If there's one system in this league, in this team, in this league today, that can keep pocket passer great, it's the Patriots.
Exactly.
Patriots. So I think this is not just a great pick. I think it's a great match. It's a match made in heaven.
It's a perfect marriage.
With Mac Jones and the Patriots. Yeah, we'll see. Do you think Cam is still gonna? Do you think he's gonna start at all, or no? What do you think? Is Cam still there?
They re-signed him, man.
They did.
I don't know.
I think they re-signed him just because they didn't know if Mac Jones was gonna fall that far. So
but now he did. What do you do? Because Mac Jones they're gonna follow suit with that new trend of just sitting him. So I do think Cam is gonna. Because here's the thing, I do think Cam can also excel in his second year. So it's getting scary. This is the last thing anybody wanted was Mac Jones going to this team. If he went to
also in the free agency, the Patriots totally buffed the hell out of their team.
They did not too crazy though. They buffed their team. They upgraded it, but they didn't make it dynamic or anything.
Sure, yeah.
So I think it was it's a move, like you said. It was a perfect match. Like you said, you hit the nail on the head. This is a system that makes pocket passers more successful than the Mahomeses and the Rodgers and the Wilsons and the Russell Wilson. So I think this is a perfect place for Mac. I can't. I'm actually interested. Listen, I thought the Patriots when they signed Cam, I thought they were good. I thought, like I said, I thought they were the most interesting team heading into 2020. Obviously, that fell apart. But now that they got Mac Jones, guess what? They're again the most interesting team to see in 2020. Who knows how Mac Jones is going to turn out? Everyone's saying he's going to be the next Brady. We don't know that because Brady's an alien. So we'll see. This is a interesting. I don't know if it's a good pick. That's the one thing. I don't know if it's a good pick. I know it's a good match. I don't know if it's a good pick because we don't know how he's going to pan out. But it's definitely the most interesting pick of the entire draft.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I agree. Yeah, I completely agree because honestly, here's the way I see it. I see two things happening with Mac Jones, just to finish the Mac Jones topic. I see Mac Jones being mediocre or Mac Jones just stealing the show.
Mm-hmm.
I either see him being mediocre as hell or absolutely lighting the league up.
Because he could easily be the next Ryan Mallett or Brian Hoyer. Just another Brady sort of not prototype, but reconfiguration that the Patriots try to put out there. He can easily be that. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be that. But it is scary thinking that this guy could be the next Brady, even though it's Mac Jones, who everyone thinks is the most dim-witted quarterback in the draft. Because look at him. But I'm 50-50 on this right now. I'm excited.
All I say is I'm excited. Yeah. Well, let's go to the next one. This is the first pick where I'm really because I think where I was like because I think Mac Jones really can be great. I was just saying it, but this is the first pick where I'm really not, dude. It's like the third time that's happened.
There's a bunch of motorcycles. It's like the entire Hell's Angels is outside my window right now.
Yeah. Jeez. My gosh. You got street racers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Well, anyways, yeah, this is the first pick where I'm really what? Okay.
This is when the draft started to get boring.
Yeah. Cardinals drafted linebacker Zaven Collins. I've never heard of the guy before.
I don't know who the guy is.
So yeah, I don't know. Look, for all I know, he could probably be good. He could, but I don't even know if this was their biggest need, really. I think I could have drafted a receiver if I was the Cardinals because AJ Green and Larry Fitzgerald are hitting retirement soon, you know? And I do understand that the linebacker position can be improved or the D line. I think I would have gone with Jalen Phillips if I was the Cardinals.
Yeah, he seems like a better overall prospect than Collins, who no one's ever heard of this guy before.
Yeah, he's from Tulsa College.
Come on, man, Tulsa, really?
Yeah.
Underwhelming pick for sure.
Underwhelming. Yeah. It's not the worst pick. Actually, I think that might be next.
I forgot the order, so I don't even know.
It's the Raiders. So let's just get to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Alex Leatherwood, from Alabama.
The Raiders defense has sucked for 3 straight. They've been the worst defense for 3 straight years, and they draft a guy that again no one's heard of him. I'm sure he's all right because he's Alabama. But he wasn't a top prospect. They could have gotten him in the second round.
Yeah. That was
Jalen Phillips was still on there. Kwity Paye was on there. Yeah,
I was watching the draft, and that's what NFL analysts were saying. They were saying that they're like, wait a minute, this guy was projected as a mid-second round pick, which the Raiders have the mid-second round pick.
Yeah, perfect.
So John Gruden has a tendency of reaching in the draft, absolutely reaching. This pick is terrible because, like you said, the defense. Let's just be honest. The only reason this pick is even remotely good is because the Raiders did actually lose quite a bit of O-line, so they do need some O-line help. Mm-hmm. That's the reason it's even remotely okay.
By the way, let me ask: is Trent Brown still on that team, or they lost? We went to the Patriots,
I
right?
think I think Trent Brown went to the Patriots. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah. No,
makes
the
sense.
Raiders lost a lot of O linemen. They did.
Okay,
That's the only reason this pick is even remotely okay. But look, like you said, the defense has been straight garbage for 3 years.
this ever since they traded Khalil Mack,
Yeah,
garbage,
garbage, exactly,
garbage.
garbage. Like not only did you ignore defense, but you also drafted a guy who could have been drafted by you in the second round. Absolutely just terrible. Yeah, you said Quiddy Pay was still on the board, Jalen Phillips still on the board. They need a defense, and
Ronald
they,
Darby,
yeah,
overdrafted, man. It was an overdraft.
I think this is arguably the worst pick in the first round.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: we could. Everyone knows we could always be eating crow, and he could actually turn out to be a
For
great
sure, for
player.
sure.
But it doesn't. Here's the thing: you could have gotten him later. That's the issue. We're not
That's
saying
yeah,
that. We're not saying that he can't be good. We're
for
saying that
sure.
they
Yeah,
overdrafted for him. You could have gotten this guy later and had the same result. You could have gotten you to help the defense. This is bad. John Gruden. I honestly do not like him as the Raiders are never going to get anywhere with John Gruden. John Gruden is not that impressive as a
I
coach.
think,
He won a Super
it,
Bowl with Tampa because he got traded there when they already had an amazing defense. He didn't make that Tampa
yeah,
team.
that was
He
Tony
got
Dungy's
sent there,
team.
and if he messed up, yeah. So the Raiders are bad, man. They're gonna be bad for a long time as long as
Yeah,
he's the coach.
yep. I think the Raiders need to fire him this season if he's
They
yeah,
missed the playoffs.
yeah,
Not even if they're decent because they were decent. They've been decent for the past 2 years. So if you don't make the playoffs and you just have another good, okay season, it's not good enough. You're in the AFC West. You gotta make things happen right now.
yeah, for sure. Well, the next pick we talked about teams that could have drafted Jalen Phillips. Well, the Dolphins were smart and they didn't.
Exactly. And
There's
again,
here's
Jalen Waddle,
competency.
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, great first round for the Dolphins, man. I mean, this is bolstering an already upcoming and solid defense, and
Mm-hmm.
they did need a little bit of D help on the D line. Not that it was bad, but it was one of the weaker sides parts of their defense. This is a great pick for the Dolphins. I love it. I love it. Great pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Dolphins defense excuse me, is so good now. It's like they were insane last year. They were the only reason that team went 10-6 is that defense. Because they
Yeah.
had like the most takeaways, I think. Like their turnover differential was tremendous. So this is a great pick. Listen, if he's there, you get him. You don't take risks when Jalen Phillips is on there. So I think it was a great pick. They got the Jalen brothers. So I think it was this is a Brian. Listen, the Brian Flores has been a. I think he's shown a lot of promise. He hasn't missed the playoffs the past 2 years, and it's really due to their confusing quarterback situation. I don't think Tua will be the answer at the end of whatever this is.
I
I
think so
think unless they
either.
get a real quarterback, I think this team is going to be taken to the next level. The defense is there. They're already that annoying spider that just you're trying to kill, but you can't. They're going to be prickling on you, sucking blood out, putting their fangs in you. They're dogs, and they're dogs in Miami. So they just need a capable offense because I don't know. Here's the thing: both picks help. That's a good thing. Jalen Waddle helps the offense. Phillips helps the defense. They both serve their purpose. It's a good pick.
Great pick. Then moving on to Washington football team. They drafted Kentucky linebacker Jamin Davis. You
A guy
know,
I've never heard of.
yeah, I've never heard of him either. This is a bad
I
pick for
can't.
me because
Yeah.
even if the guy is good, right? That's not what they needed. They
Mhm.
needed a tight end. They needed a low
They need
lineman.
offense. They need offense.
They needed offense.
Everything almost.
Yeah, almost everything on offense. Running back, yeah, this isn't even if the guy is good, it's not the right pick.
Hmm.
I mean, the only thing I will say is they could have used an upgrade at linebacker. So if the guy is good, then cool, you got that upgrade. But
Your offense still
but
sucks.
the offense sucks. The offense sucks. The defense is the only reason you won the NFC East.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not
Bad.
not a good
It's not a
choice.
good pick. It's not a good pick.
Yeah. I mean, I love to see it, but you know.
Yeah.
And then the
Until
Giants.
until they get a name. Until
Yeah,
they get a name,
yeah,
I love
for
to see
real. The Giants draft wide receiver Kadarius Toney.
I heard he was good, so I guess it's a good pick. I
Yeah,
never heard of
so let's just assume for the sake of the argument that he's a good that he's a baller, right? He's a good receiver. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is actually great for the Giants because
Mm-hmm.
when my Eagles were robbed Devontae Smith of them, well, they're like, shit, we still want a receiver anyways, right? So they could have just
Mm-hmm.
sat there at 11 and still picked Kadarius Toney, but instead they trade
Mm-hmm.
back with the Bears, and they still get Kadarius Toney, who maybe was on their selection board after Devontae Smith, gets taken.
Mm-hmm.
So you draft back, still get the player you want, So I like it. I think the Giants made a solid move here.
Yeah, it's a good pick. You're getting more help for Daniel Jones to see if he's the real deal. I don't think he. And then again, I know I've been bringing it up all day. He's another
No,
quarterback I don't like. I
yeah,
don't like him at all. I don't think he turns the ball over so much. So
yeah,
I think the Giants need a real quarterback because I don't think Daniel Jones is a real quarterback. So they're giving him a chance. They're going to see. I don't think the Giants are going to make the playoffs. I do think their defense is good, though. I think they do have a good, promising defense, and
yeah,
they've definitely surrounded a bunch of. They've gotten a bunch of help on the offense. So we will see. It's a good pick, I guess, Avery. I don't this the Giants are kind of like another like they're not the Jets because the Jets are uncertain. The Giants, I'm certain, are going to have a good defense and a
yeah,
capable, reliable offense. But I know Daniel Jones should not be the future of this team. He's not dynamic enough.
yeah. I see it, but nonetheless, whether Daniel Jones is it or not, I like the pick because it's going to help test the Giants. Because
Exactly.
because they're the Giants now have Kenny Galladay, they have, let's for argument's sake, Kadarius Toney now. You know, you finally have some two solid receivers to test Daniel Jones. Because if
Saquon,
he's got, and Saquon, and if he's got the Kyle Rudolph as well, better than Evan
Evan
Ingram,
Ingram, yeah,
better than Evan Ingram, that's tight
yeah,
end. So you're giving Daniel Jones weapons. Obviously not the best weapons in the league, but you are giving him weapons finally. And if he still can't perform, then
cut him,
see ya.
release him,
Cut him.
trade him. He's
So
done.
that's why I like this pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next is this is a great, I think it's a great pick. Colts draft Kwity Paye.
Steal, another steal. I think
Steal.
Quiddy. I think he should have been top 20, and the fact they got him at 21, a steal. By barely, it's just barely. It's a steal.
Yeah.
So listen, the Colts defense was astounding last year, and now they're going to be even more astounding because this kid is he kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people. But you and I knew we knew what was up. We knew this guy was the real deal, and
Yeah.
he went to one of the best situations possible because they're a
Yeah.
playoff team. The
To an
defense is
to an
they're already
to an
killer.
already good defense. This really bolsters it, and also bounces to Forrest Buckner on the other side. Dude, man, those
Insane.
two on opposite ends, it's gonna be a nightmare for opposing O
Yeah, your
lines
boy
and QBs.
Tannehill is fine. Your boy Tannehill is gonna have nightmares. He's gonna prove that he's a fluke.
Hey
I
man,
I don't like Tannehill. Another listen. I'm gonna bring it up
this
every
is
time.
this is
He's
where we
another I don't
disagree.
like.
But look, that's another conversation.
Overrated. He's
Yeah.
overrated.
But actually, we'll talk about the Titans though, because that's the next pick.
Perfect.
They selected cornerback Caleb Farley. I don't know who this is.
I heard he was good, but he's coming off 2 back surgeries, so I don't know why they select. This is
I'm on JPA Football's Instagram that they report everything
Mhm.
football, and also it's a reliable source. Literally, just check NFL notification, just cross check with NFL notifications. You'll know that's a
Mhm.
legit source. But yeah, I'm seeing one of the first things is risky in that
Yeah.
section. So just to prove your point. So if the guy's good and he can stay healthy, then great, because the Titans, that was one of their biggest needs, is a
They had a
DB.
terrible secondary.
Terrible, terrible, terrible third down defense last season.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think this is a good pick. It's a good pick for the defense for the Titans because they need just about everybody on defense. Their defense is bad.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know. Malcolm Butler went to the Cardinals, and
Yeah,
then that's really it. They don't really have anybody else. So
no, they didn't.
yeah, it's a yeah, again. Asante Samuel Jr. was there. I don't know. They didn't just choose him, but
Yeah, hey,
so
that works out
yeah,
for you later.
it works out for me later. So.
Yeah,
But I again, it's risky. Come off 2 back surgeries, which means you don't. This guy is he could be a liability soon.
yeah.
So
Well, I hope he stays healthy.
I will say that I guess all in all, if I had to lean to one side or the other, this was a bad pick.
Hmm, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's a good pick just because if he's good, and that's what they needed it. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's injury prone, then bad. Yeah.
I'm going the other direction.
Oh, I will say though, nothing can get worse than Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah, nothing, nothing at all.
For those of you guys who don't know about that, the Titans drafted him relatively high in the first round last year, and as no lineman, the dude played like made part of one game, and just was a lazy piece of shit like Jamarcus Russell was for the Raiders. And then, yeah, they traded him to the Dolphins, and then the
The
Dolphins
Dolphins
released him
released him.
because he also was super lazy for one of the laziest drafted players ever, and he went in the first round. So yeah, that's that story. Anyways, actually speaking of offensive linemen, in our next pick, Vikings draft Christian Darrisaw
A
of
good
tackle.
pick.
Yeah,
Another good pick.
if
He
there's
was
anything
before
to
the Jets.
bolster, yeah, if there's anything to bolster on this offense, they O line,
Yeah.
receivers solid, tight
Yeah,
ends. I don't know who their
they
tight
don't
end
need
is in.
receivers.
Yeah,
They don't need receivers.
no, they don't. They don't need running back either.
Hmm.
Kirk Cousins,
We'll see.
we'll
We'll see.
see. I'm always on the fence, but he can put up his good games, and this will help. You know. So
Yeah, I think it was actually I do think it's scaling of a steal. I wouldn't say it's all the way
it's a
steal
solid pick.
because it's a solid pick. I think that's a better
Yeah,
term for it.
yeah, great. Yeah, good pick by the Vikings. And then our first running back drafted in the draft, Najee Harris to the Steelers. We actually talked about this in our pre-draft talk, our last one, that the Steelers might go for him if he was available. And boom, what do you know? They got him. Great pick. Great pick for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
it just seemed like what else were they gonna do? They don't really need anything else other than they're either gonna go offensive line or running back.
Yeah.
And they got a running back, and I mean
And
we'll see.
and
I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
think I think at this point in the first round, because this is the 24th pick. I mean, there's been plenty of offensive line taken. How much worse can an offensive lineman be now between the 24th pick and their pick in the second round?
Mhm.
So you get the top running back draft, the top prospect of running backs in the draft. Great pick for the Steelers. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. I don't know if it's gonna help them that much.
Hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. They needed it. They got what they needed. So yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah. Let's see. It's going off that Instagram page, but they ran out of picks. So here we go. Oh, all right, here we go. I don't like this pick at all. Travis Etienne to the
Oh yeah.
Jaguars. This is a terrible pick. This is a terrible pick. Even if the guy's good, this is a terrible pick
It seems like it was.
because I think the Jaguars forgot that they have James Robinson on their team who ran for 1,000 yards last season. I think they forgot that guy was literally the only good guy in their offense last season. I think they forgot they had James Robinson because what in the hell? And even worse, I heard them say this Travis is going to be a good third down running back. Really? You don't draft a running back in the first round for him to be a third down back. You serious? They needed receiver. They needed O line. They needed a tight end. They needed a position on anybody of fill in position on defense. They did not need running back. Running back and quarterback after drafting Trevor Lawrence are the two positions on the team they don't need, and they drafted running back. This is a terrible pick for the Jaguars. One of the worst picks I think in the whole draft. What do you think?
I agree with you. Trevor Lawrence needs a receiver. He needs he needs protection. He needs maybe even you could even say he needs even a defensive player to help him so that can close games and help him get back on the field. He doesn't need a running back when you just had a guy rush for 1,000 yards. He seems more stable, like at least stable than Leonard Fournette was, because Leonard Fournette had a good rookie season, then fell off the face of the earth. So you could have been developing two guys at once if you got a good offensive lineman. Could have been developing James and Trevor. So this is a head scratcher. They're trying to go that maybe Urban Meyer sees something we don't. I know they're reuniting the running back with the quarterback. That's good and all. But running back quarterback connections, unless you're Troy Aikman and Emmett Smith, it doesn't really work out. It's not that much of a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially in today's NFL.
yeah,
So yeah, this was not a pick that I would have gone if I was Jacksonville.
I agree. Well, moving on to the next pick, we got Greg Newsome the second, DB out of Northwestern to the Browns.
Another good pick. I mean, Brown's secondary, that was literally their biggest defensive issue because we know they can put up points. We know that for sure. So that secondary was, here's the thing, they had a bad habit last year because and there's three games that jump out to me: the Cowboys game, the Titans game, and then the Steelers game. Because all three of those games, they had humongous leads, and then their zone coverage and their secondary allowed almost near comebacks. Luckily, their offense was so competent to actually score more points to prevent an actual comeback from happening. But that's troubling. If you're up 38 to what was it, 38-10 on the Titans, or 38 to nothing on the Titans, once you're up on that, if you're a competent team and you're a competent defense, that's the most that score should be was 38-13, not like what was it, like 45-38. It became like a close game for no reason.
Yeah,
So I mean, even like the Steelers one, it was 28 nothing, and then it became 48. The final score was 48-37. You can't be allowing comebacks like that at all.
yeah.
So
Same thing happened when they played the Cowboys too.
exactly. So it happened. It was too much. So kudos to the general manager who recognized that, and they
Yeah, and
got John Johnson.
not only did they address it here in the draft, they already were addressing it. They by
Yeah,
drafting or getting John Johnson, and then I can't remember the name, but they got another DB from the Rams. I can't remember his name, but they already did that. Um,
yeah.
and I just remember that he's good. And then yeah, another cornerback to balance it out.
So
And then
great. It was
yeah,
great.
and Miles Garrett, Jadavion Clowney.
The
The
Browns.
Browns. I'm so glad to see them competent.
I
The
can't wait to
Browns
see it.
are right now one of the most competent organizations in the league. Let's face it, they are. They are.
Mhm.
The Browns are no longer a joke. They aren't.
They have a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. I mean, is it gonna happen? Probably not, but nonetheless, they're.
Who knows,
I
man? Who
I'm not
knows?
gonna be surprised if I see the Browns in the divisional playoffs. You kidding me?
I mean, they're a better team than what they were last year. And
Yeah,
even listen,
and they made it to the divisional.
and here's the thing. That's one of
Almost
that's
beat the
also
Chiefs.
there's a good thing. There's also a silver lining to that to the Odell Beckham situation. Listen, everyone's saying trade him, trade him, trade him. His stock is low now. Let's just be honest. His stock is lowered for the past 3 years. He's injury prone. His production's down. So
So
now if you have him on your team, now I don't even think Baker needs to force him the ball. He can just be there and just do what he needs to do. I don't think he needs to be a liability like he was for the past 2 years. Baker forcing him the ball, especially that first year. That was bad. That's why they were
yeah,
terrible. So now Odell Beckham's coming back. They still got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Landry's there. what's that? Who's their tight end? It's David
Austin Hooper
Njoku and Austin
and
Hooper.
David
Yeah.
Njoku. Yeah,
So this team is stacked. So
yeah.
I
This
can't
team
wait
is
to see.
stacked, dude.
This is a Super Bowl roster, man. This is
It is. All right. Sticking to the AFC North, the Ravens select Rashad Bateman,
a
wide
great pick.
receiver.
Great pick. They signed Sammy Watkins. That we all know that wasn't going to cut it. You got to give Lamar more weapons. They got good tight ends, so let's just give him some weapons. Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews. You got
Mark
Sammy
Andrews, yeah.
Watkins. What's his name? Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown, yeah.
Now they got Rashad Bateman. Great. I mean, and their running game is always going to be good as long as you got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins and Lamar.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, great pick. I mean, let's just be honest. This was a great pick for the Ravens. Since they were drafting high, I mean, you might as well have gone offense. You might as well have gone the best receiver available, and that's exactly what they did. And I'm very, very happy because I love Lamar Jackson. He really is one of my favorite players, and I really do want to see him succeed. So I think this is a great pick.
Well, I gotta agree with you there. Yeah, great receiver out of Minnesota. So college, by the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, great pick for the Ravens. Yeah, receiver was their biggest need, and they got it. Good stuff. Next pick, another team that addresses good need, a need. Good on them. The Saints pick Peyton Turner, D lineman out of Houston.
I never heard of him before, so I don't really know if I can say him. I don't know if
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't heard of him either, but you know what? It is a position. It's one of the weakest positions on their team now because they got rid of some solid defensive lineman players, except for Cameron Jordan. So this is good. And if the kid's good, great.
I mean, the thing about the Saints, too, is that I have no idea how they're going to be next year. I really don't. I have no idea.
Yeah, they're such an interesting team to gauge.
I don't know how to predict them because they still have a great roster. I wouldn't say Super Bowl roster because they don't really have a Super Bowl quarterback. You know, they really should have won that game against the Bucs. They really should have. And I think a lot of people predicted. That's what I wanted. I wanted Saints Packers in the NFC Championship.
I got what I wanted. I wanted the Bucs, baby. I wanted to see. I was one of the few that wanted to see Tom Brady run it all. And
I know you did. And at the end of the day, I wanted to too. But I mean, the Saints are an interesting team. Like, listen, if you say this is what they need, I actually haven't been paying attention to the Saints' other problems other than the quarterback situation. So if you say it's a good pick, Avery, I'm with you, brother.
They addressed a big team need. So
then my condolences, or not my condolences.
My apologies.
My affirmations to the New Orleans Saints.
There you go. Okay. All right, another terrible pick.
Which one?
We're getting to the Packers, baby.
So this is where we're gonna kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So let's start with background before this pick and why this pick happened. So Aaron Rodgers decided to steal the show just before the draft, and he said, "I will not be at the Packers." He said, "If I don't get a contract extension, if the GM isn't fired, I'm not there. I'm not there as a Green Bay Packer." They told me they were going to draft me to the Niners, and then they pulled out. You know, I'm upset. And also, Jordan Love is still, after this year, the only first-round offensive, like not even just receiver, because that's what Aaron Rodgers and everybody knows that's what the Packers needs, besides Devontae. Because, like, you need some help. You need somebody to assist Devontae Adams, right? Despite how fantastic he is. Like, dude, not only did they not draft a receiver, they haven't drafted, besides Jordan Love, who they should not have drafted last year in the first round, traded up for him too. Jordan Love is the only offensive player they have drafted in the first round in 10 years. Since 2012 was the last time they drafted an offensive player in the first round. The last time. Dude, and this is insane, man. This is insane. I actually saw a talk today. Terry Bradshaw just blaming the shit out of Aaron Rodgers because he's like, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Terry Bradshaw was basically like, dude, like man up, like he's like, honestly, if you want out and if you're being such a pussy, like, and you want to demand the GM be fired or I'm gone, then be gone, retire, see ya. Like I was like, damn, like okay, Terry Bradshaw, but
Shut
at
up.
this,
Shut up, Terry Bradshaw. No one
but
cares about what Terry Bradshaw thinks.
the thing is, I understand where Aaron Rodgers is coming from
I'm on Aaron's side on this.
because this is the second most incompetent GM in the league next to the Texans.
Yeah.
Because look, you once again, I mean, I already said it. Have Jordan Love is the only player they've drafted on offense in the first round since 2012, and it's a quarterback, not who they needed. Aaron Rodgers has been needing a receiver, maybe some O-line, maybe a tight end or two or something like, because Jimmy Graham's not going to cut it. Come on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, and they just lost Corey Linsley. Could have taken off, like, if you're not going to take a receiver in the first round, it could have taken an offensive lineman.
Yeah, thank you, Packers.
Yeah. So, they're not drafting offense. They're not making free agency moves. They're not addressing the receiver position. And actually, when a receiver praises Aaron Rodgers, he gets fired.
Yeah, I saw that. That's petty.
Yeah, I can't remember
what the hell even is that, dude? Like, why? Like, what kind of pettiness? First of all, it's Aaron Rodgers, and it's first of all, it's your team. What did the receiver do? Like, how much do you have to hate your own franchise quarterback to do something so petty like that?
Well, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Packers.
Because they're saying, Aaron, stay, please, please, please. And then a guy's like, hey, Aaron, like, you're awesome. Aaron, thank you for being such an amazing quarterback and treating me good as a receiver. And they're like, get out. Aaron's like, what? Dude, it's insane. See, At first, I was judging or criticizing Aaron Rodgers for wanting a contract extension because rather than a pay cut, because I think pay cuts is the way to go to get teams to win Super Bowl rings. But the thing is, I realized, I was like, come on, man, quit bitching. Just take a pay cut so that they can pay other players. But then I realized, I was like, the Packers are so dumb. If Aaron Rodgers took a pay cut, they're not going to use that pay cut wisely. So you know what? I totally get why he's advocating for a contract extension, because he's like, well, if I'm going to be on this team, I might as well be getting paid my top dollar,
Yeah.
So I get it. And yeah, just in because this all happened in the morning too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the draft. And you go out later, a few hours later, and say, we're drafting a DB named Eric Stokes. Who is that guy? Is he good? I don't know. Like, that's what they do. Then they fire a receiver who praises him. Yeah, I can see why Aaron Rodgers demanded the GM to be fired or he's leaving. I see it because he's clearly incredibly incompetent. Clearly.
And here's the thing. I wish the Packers were competent, because now with all this news that he might get traded to Denver or Las Vegas.
Yeah, so that's the rumors, right?
Bro, we just got Herbert, man. Come on. I don't want Rodgers in this division. This first off, that would make it literally the best quarterback division ever. At least in a moment in time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Those are at least 3 of them are top 10. Derek Carr is top 15. 3 of them are at least top 10.
And you know what? Maybe that's another reason the Broncos drafted Patrick Surtain rather than Justin Fields, because maybe they're loading up to trade for Aaron.
That's another thing too. Maybe that was, everyone was saying that. Either way, first off, the Broncos were playing chess, not checkers. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Either way, Patrick Surtain, people were questioning it. It was a great pick no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so and this, first of all, yeah, like you said, even the actual draft pick, because that's what we're doing right now, it's not a good pick. First off, you could have gotten another receiver. Elijah Moore was there. Rondale
Yeah,
Moore was there. Another offensive lineman.
and they didn't even get the best DB available. Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante
is there
Samuel Jr. How many times I got to mention that guy's name? I'm glad, obviously, they didn't take him, but
because your Chargers got him.
my
Yeah,
Chargers, how first off, the fact that he even slid in because we were still what? We were still late, like mid second round. I can't believe he even slid that
dude, the
far.
Chargers like
We lucked out.
y'all really lucked out and had a great draft.
We didn't have to give up shit. We just
You didn't.
we didn't trade up or trade down.
Everybody slid to you, man.
We were collecting Infinity Stones. They're just coming to us, Avery. But dude, the Packers are such a stupid organization now. And now it's like
Honestly, man.
like when Doug Peterson like kind of when like that last game against Washington. That's when everyone started like really hate the Eagles. It's like what the fuck the Eagles. Now everyone's like fuck the Packers. I'm getting like that. I don't like that's so petty. Like the pettiness that this is showing. Fuck the Packers, man. I don't want to see. Listen, here's the thing, and I do wish that they got that trade to San Francisco because I think that would have been awesome.
Would have been insane.
It can't happen now, obviously, but that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron honestly, Rodgers to the Niners. That's a immediate Super Bowl appearance.
Exactly.
At the least NFC Championship.
No, they are. Because we haven't seen Brady's Bucks face the Niners yet, so we'll see. That's what I can't wait to see next year. Can't wait to see Brady's Bucks face the Seahawks and the Niners. That's going to be exciting to see. I can't wait.
And the Rams.
But no, we faced the Rams this year already, and they lost. So, but I guess it's different. It's a different Rams.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I guess. So I guess
this is the Matthew Stafford.
It's the Matthew Stafford Rams and Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are gonna get destroyed by the Bucks any day. Yeah, but yeah, man, I can't. This is it's so stupid. Like, let's just be honest. Everyone agrees that this is stupid, in terms of what the Packers are doing. It's idiotic. It's Aaron. There's only one Aaron Rodgers. Whether we want to talk about his NFC Championship failures or not, how he can never get it done in the NFC. He only has one Super Bowl appearance and win to his name. I get that, but he's still a top 5 quarterback of all time in terms of he's a perfect quarterback, Avery. He's like a perfect quarterback. He has everything. He can scramble. One of the most him and Drew Brees and Brady are definitely top 3 most accurate quarterbacks ever. But this guy, when he throws a ball, it's like a what's that? It's like a Picasso painting. It's smooth. He's got swagger. Aaron Rodgers, let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers, even in the first place, was never built for a town like Green Bay. He was built for a team like the Niners, a team like even now the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a Western gunslinger.
Can I say something, Don?
Go ahead.
So let's be real. The Packers are not going to fire their GM. Let's just be real. They're not.
Teams don't do that. Teams never do that, ever.
Yeah, they don't. They don't fire a GM for a player.
Unless that being said,
okay. Yeah, unless you're Peyton Manning.
Not even Brady.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Packer next season. I don't think so. I really don't think so. He's either getting traded, released, or retired. He's not being. Point is, he's not going to be a Packer.
Yeah.
The Packers, that drops them down to just nothingville. And because in my opinion, like the Packers could have been a potential NFC Championship team. Now, Aaron Rodgers, they're not even in the hunt for playoffs without Aaron. They're not.
Oh, here's the thing. I don't think they'd be a terrible team. I mean, Jordan Love. But
nonetheless, they will not make the playoffs.
I can't even go that far, Avery. I really can't. I don't know because it all depends on if.
Because look, the NFC sure isn't as competitive as the AFC, but there are some up and coming teams.
They are.
We know
the Panthers. The Panthers are going to beat the Panthers even with Jordan Love.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. Another guy to include on that list. I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. So
I am because now he's on the Panthers, not the Jets.
I don't even care where he's on. I just don't think he's that. I don't think he's
Well,
that.
that's a difference of opinion.
That's good to know. So, but we'll see, Jordan. I mean, listen, this is all depends. If Jordan Love's bad, then literally all this, Avery, was for what? It was for my name spelled backwards.
Yeah,
Do the math. Do the math. You know what that means?
nada.
There you go. So it's this is stupid. This is
This,
literally
yeah,
the stupidest
that's it. That's plain, it's plain,
ever.
plain
It's so
stupid.
stupid. It's so stupid. And Rodgers deserves to play his hand and embarrass this team. This team looks stupid now. Let's just be honest. Good
Yeah.
job, Rodgers. And this guy's a lucky guy. He's married to Shailene Woodley. He's hosting Jeopardy. This guy is living the life. Who gives a fuck about the Green Bay Packers? The Green Bay Packers don't matter. This guy doesn't even talk to his own family. He doesn't even talk to his brothers or his dad or his mom. He doesn't give a fuck about his family. This guy just cares about making millions, marrying supermodels and actresses, and just slinging it in Hollywood. This guy's a cold hard gangster, Avery. Fuck Green Bay Packers. What the fuck the Packers got to do with anything?
Wow. Damn.
Oh, it's a
Well,
fucking Tuesday night. All right.
jeez. All right. Well, to continue, let's just wrap up our talk about the draft, the first round. Um, Gregory Rousseau, defensive lineman to the Bills.
I guess. Yeah, they need a pass
Yeah.
rusher. They got him.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay.
Yeah, they could use a pass rusher. I don't know how good this guy is, you know, but they do need a pass rusher. And if this guy is good, then hey, then it's a great pick. Solid, good choice, good choice. All right, well, Don, rub that disgusting look off your face, because we got the Ravens.
Again?
Jason Owe. That I hope that's how I
It
say
is
his name.
Jason Owe.
Okay, Jason Owe, linebacker at Penn State. I think this is a great pick. They
Good
lost
pick.
Matthew Judon.
Beautiful. Tremendous.
Because the next need after receiver was linebacker. And what did they do?
Yeah.
They
They
got
get a
it.
linebacker. Smart.
Smart decision. Good stuff from
Beautiful.
the Ravens.
Good job, Baltimore.
Yeah. And then the last pick in the 2021 first round draft, finally the Bucks, Joe Tryon, linebacker at Washington. I mean,
Just for depth, and let's just be honest.
and honestly,
He could start. Who
this
even
this
knows?
pick is really actually kind of good.
Go
Because
ahead,
why?
explain.
Because Levante David almost walked this season. I think Devin, no, not Devin White. He's on his rookie deal.
Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett, yeah, Shaq Barrett and Levante David, both of them almost walked. Levante David even more so, I believe. And so when that day comes, Levante David or Shaq Barrett leaving, you got somebody to replace him and learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was like, the Bucks are stacked. I don't know who they need.
Yeah, like
But this is a pick to take care of the future. I like it.
Let's just be honest. After Brady leaves the Bucks, this team's gonna be bad. like everyone's gonna leave.
No,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
so true.
So like Bruce Arians is probably gonna retire because he almost retired. I think he retired after Arizona. I think he came out of retired to coach the Bucks for some reason.
Yeah.
So after Brady retires, we're never gonna have to talk about the Buccaneers again. Like literally, they're gonna be bad. So
Tom Brady is already the best Buccaneers quarterback
He's
in Bucks
That's
quarterback
insane, right?
in Bucks QB history.
Because before that, who was it? Like
I don't know.
Brad Johnson?
I don't even know who that is.
Remember Josh Freeman?
I remember Josh Freeman was the first Bucks QB I ever
He
saw.
was supposed to be good. He could have been so much more, but it's how the tables turn. But listen, as soon as Brady leaves this team, it doesn't matter who the Bucks draft. It's not gonna matter. They're never gonna get a quarterback like Brady again. It's fucking Tom Brady, Avery. They're not gonna especially the Bucks. They're not gonna find another Tom Brady ever again. So they gotta enjoy it while it lasts. You know, this is yeah, I guess this is to secure their future, and you can get some added depth for the present. So, like you said, it's a smart pick, good pick. Bucks might repeat. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I think the Chiefs are probably gonna be looking for vengeance, but now we don't even know if the Chiefs are gonna make it out of the AFC now. So I can't wait to see what the Bucks, even though they just won, like they literally just won again. but they're still interesting to
Yeah.
see because fucking Tom Brady, like that's I'm never gonna get sick of Brady. It's gonna be a dark day, not for the NFL, but for sports, Avery. When Tom Brady decides to hang up those cleats and that jersey and those shoulder pads,
I
it's gonna
know.
be, it's gonna be a dark day, dude.
I know. It's insane.
And I know
Well,
you love Brady. I know that.
oh yeah. I
I love
mean,
him too. I love Brady. I'm not afraid to
I
say it.
think if
I love it, Tom Brady.
unless you're a Jets, Dolphins, or Bills fan, if you say you don't like Brady, I think you're lying to you. There's part of you that's lying to yourself.
Broncos fans I know don't like Brady because they beat the
Okay,
fuck out of him in the playoffs all the time. So why the fuck would they like him?
yeah, okay,
He's
yeah,
never has he ever beaten okay now he's never beaten Denver in Denver in the playoffs.
I think that's true.
Yeah, ever. That's also crazy.
Yeah, damn. Well, yeah, we could probably talk more about like overall teams draft selections. We're not going to go this in depth into the next rounds because it's 200 plus people to talk about. We just talked
Hey,
about 30.
we don't know any of them.
We just talked about 32. We just talked about 33 because we just talked about Aaron Rodgers too
Yeah.
for a
And
nice
Asante
tangent there.
Samuel.
Yeah, Asante Samuel Jr.
Asante Samuel Jr. We brought him up a lot. Shout out to him.
Yeah, jeez. I mean, it's a good pick for the Chargers, but yeah, we'll go over more general grades for teams. Uh, probably in the next topic, and then any other big free agency developments. Actually, Alejandro Villanueva signed with the Ravens, so
There you go. And listen, me and Avery are going to be watching this Aaron Rodgers situation with three eyes. All right.
yeah, absolutely. Both of us, not total.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that concludes episode 12 of the Thunderbird podcast. There's a lot. It's our longest one in a bit, actually.
Yeah, this is a long ever since the pilot episode when it was.
Nah, dude, that episode was almost. I mean, this episode was long. This episode was long, but it still doesn't even. It still doesn't even compare.
Here's the thing.
Until we get back into the season.
Oh, that means it's gonna be every episode's gonna be 3 hours once we get into that season. Okay, we're gonna have to shrink it. We can't be talking about every single game. Like we literally talked about every week 17 game. We talked about it for at least 15 minutes.
Well, okay, yeah, that was different. That was different because it was week 17.
Yeah, but but that's when the games. That's when like half of those games didn't even matter. Like, can you imagine week 6? Oh, week 6 is gonna be a nightmare, Avery.
Oh, jeez.
But we'll be here when it gets here, guys.
Yeah, can't wait for September.
Me neither. I can't wait. I can't wait, guys.
All right, yeah, that concludes episode 12 of the Thunderbird podcast. Thanks for sticking around. And for those of you guys that, I mean, these are long podcasts, even if it's not as long as our pilot one. What I suggest doing, if you don't want to listen to, you do want to listen to us, but don't listen to all of us at once because that's a lot to ask for. Let's just break it up into pieces. That's what I do with others, like streams that I like to listen to, so that you can get constant football throughout the week from yours truly, Avery and Adon. With that being said, good night, and let's enjoy some more football talk in the future.
Stay classy, San Diego.